Hi there, Diecast fans. What we have here is a 1965 Chevrolet Corvette in 1:18 scale by Maisto. Now, for our Chevrolet Corvette fans right there, yes, this is based on the C2 Chevrolet Corvette from the 1960s. And as everybody knows, Chevrolet Corvette were renowned American sports car, fiberglass body, a very big V8 engine, rear-wheel drive, and two-seater, two-door sports car. There is no doubt that Chevrolet Corvette is gonna get your attention, whether it's the early or 1960s, 1950s models because of the design of the entire car, and in any form of diecast models, like example from the smallest like 1/72 or 1/64, and like this, the 1:18 scale. Now it's going to grab your attention even more if you see the actual car on the road. So the first time I saw this on the local hobby shop on their shelves, I didn't have any second thoughts of buying it immediately. Just the way how Maisto produced this diecast model is amazing. So let me just share to you how amazed I was when I saw this diecast model in terms of detailing for the price that you pay for this diecast model. Of course, let's start on the front. So the first thing you're gonna see to this diecast model in front, of course, the two-piece or the separated bumper right there with the chrome or metallized plastic finish on it. Mine is already around 8 years old, so the finish for the bumper started to tarnish a little bit. But anyway, the bumpers are really well made for the finish itself. There's no excess plastic protruding on the sides of the bumpers, and behind it is the grill itself, which is tucked behind the bumper itself. And if you look closely underneath the bumper, you could see there, I think this is the signal lamps, which is colored in amber, chrome amber, I think, with the chrome bezels on it. It's really well made for a low budget diecast model, and especially considering this, that small chrome trim right there on the outside of the grill. I think you could see from the engine bay if you look closely. So this is not a texturized plastic, it really is an actual grill. And like I said before, this is a budget model, like you're gonna pay around $25 to $30 back then. Don't expect the headlights gonna flip out like compared to the original diecast model. But then again, they included these lines right there just to reflect that it's got a flip up or pop up headlights, if you wanted to call it like that. And you could also see the flags, which represents the Corvette logo. Now wait until you see the engine bay of this diecast model. So I have to switch the camera view angle to this direction because on how the hood of the diecast model is going to be opened. You cannot open it from the front, you have to open it from the rear or from the back of the engine bonnet right there. So the trick is you have to push this a little bit and then you lift the hood itself, and you're gonna reveal a fuel injected V8 engine right there. This is one of the first, not the first, but one of the renowned and popular American car to ever had a fuel injection system to their engines. So you could see there, I will try to zoom in for a closer detailed look. So you could see there the airbox, I think, for the fuel injection system. This is an early technology back then. If you compare this to the modern ones, they're gonna be night and day in terms of detail. So there's the radiator hose, this is the alternator, and if you lift this up, Maisto included also I think this is a stand for the hood itself right there. It's finished in chrome, not just ordinary black plastic parts on it. So an additional points for them for including that kind of detailing. And also there's a warning label near the radiator shroud right there. So you can see there the fan itself. It's not painted, but it's there. The clutch fan and some accessory belts, and of course the plumbings and the valve cover with a, I think, the Corvette or a Chevrolet name on the valve cover itself, and some additional paint details on the engine bay, like for example, I think bottle fluid reserves with an additional caps right there. So there's really so much going on the engine detailing itself. For the price what you pay, you're gonna get all of this. And another amazing detail for this diecast model is how they made the rims and tires for this diecast model. Only one of the high-end ones can produce this kind of finish and detailing for a diecast model in this scale. I imagine it can be done by auto art or something like that. This kind of execution in terms of quality and detail is really superb, in my opinion. And they also included the white sidewall for the tires. Yes, there's no branding for the tires, but who cares? As long as the white sidewalls are there, that's forgivable. And they also included a threads on it, which is, I think, period correct threads during the 1960s. If you look closely, since this is black, it's hardly to be seen on camera. And of course, back then, they don't brag about the disc brake system on the cars back then. As long as the it stops adequately, it's good enough. But they don't need to show off what kind of brake systems those sports car had. Now, going to the side profile of this diecast models, you could see there the fuel injection badge to represent that this car had a fuel injection system for their V8 engine. And you can also see the grills right there at 3 slats. You cannot see through to the inside of the diecast model. It's just a just extruded part of the entire body shell of the diecast model. And they also include this very large chrome trim metallized plastic right there on the rocker panel of the diecast body. It's well finished, and they also included the side mirrors, the quarter glass. They also put the glass right there on the door, and including also is the door latch itself with the painted gray keyhole. Now going to the rear side of the diecast model, especially in the rear wheels. So you could see there the chrome antenna right there. So it's going to be a bit fragile. Well, it's well made, but if you break this, it's going to be a hard time to put it back together. Since this is a straight rod made out of plastic, of course. And you could see there, well detailed rear wheels. It has the exact size and the same detailing compared to the front. Well made fit and finish for the entire wheels, of course, including these white side walls that really looks great on these 1960s cars. And also, if you pull the diecast model, you can see there the rear bumper itself. Like I said before, a great looking antenna right there. Just be careful, it's a bit fragile. So you could see there the two-piece rear bumpers separated on the middle via California license plate right there. So there also protruded a two-piece exhaust system right there just below the bumpers, and the tail light itself. This is just a one-piece chrome parts on it with a painted red lenses right there. They're not made out of transparent plastic or glass. They just painted with red color on it. And of course, gonna be obvious is the chrome gas cap filler, finished in chrome with the Corvette logo on it. And looking at the right side of the rear of this diecast model is the Chevrolet Corvette badge right there. It's not a sticker, it's a tampo. So of course, like I said before, cleaning this is going to be easy and safe. And let's inspect the interior of this diecast model. So we open the door. I'm glad that they didn't use those dogleg hinges right there. It looks realistic when you open the door. Plus points for them again. So we try to zoom in, and let's say let's see a closer look on the detailing on the interior. So you consider the pinnacle, the driver's side, the steering wheel is painted in chrome and with an additional, I think this is a brown color to represent the wood grain for the steering wheel itself. Back in the 1960s, it was a popular option and looks and styling like that. And you can see that the pinnacles right there, the gauges with the speedometer and a tachometer, I think, and of course a pedal right there on the footwell of the interior of the diecast model. Now, since it's got a 2 pedal, so I assume this is an automatic transmission sports car. So we take a closer look on the center console on it. So I could see there the gear lever right there, and I think there's gonna be the switch for the climate control. Back then, that's the way how they stylized it in the 1960s. So inspecting the center console of this diecast model, they also texturize the carpeting interior of this. It's made out of plastic, but it's well represented. It's got a fur or carpet on it. For me, it's averagely, or just an average detailing for the interior. So you could see there's some chrome paintings on it and silver paints on the center console. So looking behind it, you could see more chrome paints on it. Now going to the right side, I almost forgot the detail of the door cards itself. Let's take a just a small glimpse on the door card itself. So you can see there silver paints on it with the window winder right there, and some accessory box right there. They never just painted this or leave it in a black color. They also painted it with the silver paints for additional detailing. So Maisto did those things just to complete the look or the detailing of the interior. So we could see there on the right side passenger, I think this is a Corvette insignia right there on the glove box, and the footwells you could see there texturized plastic to represent that it's got a carpet, just to mimic the texture of the carpet. So you could see also the seats with a chrome lining on the sides. Now both seats is treated with this kind of detailing. If you take a closer look right there, so that's an additional plus points for Maisto for interior detailing. So for those who are curious what's underneath diecast model, so there you go. And you can see first thing is going to be the orange painted oil pan on it. The engine block itself goes there, and the suspension in front, which is integrated, or let's say attached to the chassis of the diecast model in black and everything like that. But still, Maisto separate the paints for the entire exhaust system of this diecast model. So you could see there, right there, marching in to the rear. You could see the twin muffler systems, and painted also integrated to the exhaust plastic mold right there is the automatic transmission, painted in silver, and then it stops right here, and there goes the propeller shaft right there on the rear. It's just a part of the entire chassis of the diecast model. So there's really nothing to see or too much detail, except for the, like I said before, in the engine bay, on the oil pan and the transmission and the exhaust system. And if you look closely, there are gonna be 4 screws right there just behind the wheels, because this diecast model has a full sprung suspension on it. My conclusion to this diecast, just wow, this diecast model is amazing. On what you pay for around 25 to 30 US dollars, you're gonna get this kind of detail. like from any high-end models in 1:18 scale. Just amazing, just amazing. Most of this detailing for a 1:18 diecast model is most likely is going to be at par with the high-end models, and they could do better, of course, for the fit and finish and additional detailing and additional material for the interior, just to make it more accurate. But for around, like I said before, again and again, for 20 to 30 US dollars, back then I purchased this, I think back in 2012. So this is more than 10 years from recording this video. This is just an amazing diecast model, a real bargain. I think this is a steal. Now, if there's any chance that you can stumble upon this diecast model, give it a chance. Give it just a small glance on it. If this is your forte of collecting a 1:18 scale diecast model. So, especially if you are a collector of old American muscle cars or 1960s cars, or just cars with lots of chromes on it, this diecast model will not disappoint you, I promise. So guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this entertains you and helps you if you wanted to purchase a C2 Corvette from Maisto. And have a nice day.